One of the things I grapple with when it comes to video games is should or shouldn't they get a chance at redemption when they release unfinished. On one hand, I find it absolutely unacceptable that games released unfinished and not functional. In fact, I'm starting to think it should be illegal to release them in that state, because I feel it's deceptive marketing, and the bare minimum should be that the product you buy works day one. There should never be a situation where a game literally doesn't function when it's released, because they can just cancel it before launch or delay it until it works. They don't have to release these games unfinished, but on the other hand, if games didn't get redemption, then beloved games like Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky, for example, wouldn't have become the games they are today. Sure, they should have released finished and good to begin with, but that's just not the reality we live in when it comes to those games and others like it. I'm trying to bring up points for both sides and discuss why I struggle with this obvious issue gaming has today, and see what people think in the comments. And the reason I decided to broach the subject is because the Classic Collection for the original Battlefronts was released in a messy state. So it kind of made me curious to see if people are going to forgive the game in the future if it gets fixed in a timely manner, or if they're always going to hold it over Aspire's head. And if they do fix it in a timely manner, but yet you still can't forgive them, I don't think you're wrong for that. The game should have been good at launch. Now let me discuss why games shouldn't get redemption if they have a bad launch. The first point I'm going to make, and the most important in my opinion, is games should not be able to get a second chance, because if they do get second chances, then they become standard like they are today. More and more game companies are comfortable with releasing unfinished games because they know gamers will eat it up anyways. And honestly, it's our fault as gamers for letting game companies get complacent and lazy like that. The next reason I think they shouldn't get forgiveness is because it shows the lazy, dishonest, and malicious side of these companies when they release a game that is not ready to be released. You know, for a lot of these games, you're going to be spending $70 on a game that doesn't work. Imagine going to a restaurant and ordering a hamburger and not getting the meat. That's literally what it's like to buy a new game and for it to not work. It's just as ridiculous in my opinion. And the last reason I want to give is because we as gamers deserve better than this. We deserve to be able to buy new games and play them and to know that they will at least function right. I'm not even saying the games have to be good, it's just they need to be functional. They can be bad games with terrible plots and, terrible stuff that you don't like, but they should work as intended when you buy them. And the best thing you can do if you're fed up with new games releasing unfinished is to make sure to let these game companies know that you're willing to walk away. You're willing to not play Call of Duty anymore. You're willing to not play Battlefield anymore. You're willing to not play Battlefront anymore. If you just walk away from these games and go to competitors, eventually they're going to straighten up their act. But that's the hard thing, and I struggle with this too, is the walking away part. Now that I got that part of the video done, now I want to talk about why they should get redemption and why I struggle with the issue. The first reason why unfinished games deserve a second chance / redemption is because some of the games that are released unfinished and messy become good games. But it's just they needed more time before being released. Examples being Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, and in my personal opinion, Halo Infinite. The core gameplay, at least, is fantastic. Now, on to the next point. Admittedly, I am playing devil's advocate here, and this is a viewpoint a lot of developers have, or at least have stated as an excuse, but games are harder to make. They take more time to work on, and are more expensive too, because standards for them have gone up. They need to look better, perform better, and sometimes they take some time post-launch to properly iron out kinks because of how complex they are. And the last reason why I think games deserve a second chance, and admittedly, this is more of a nihilistic, apathetic take I have, but people will play the games anyways and support it even if it's an obvious cash grab. Just look at Call of Duty, for example. It's so popular, yet the series hasn't been good since Black Ops 2. Now, I will admit that I believe that unfinished games don't deserve redemption on principle, but like most people, I'm also a hypocrite who will do the opposite of what I believe. I pretty actively play Halo Infinite. I've got 1,000 hours on it. I still play the Battlefront Classic Collection, and recently I've been playing Fallout 76. So even though I think broken games don't deserve redemption or a second chance, I still play those games, which is what keeps me grappling with the question at hand. And when I say this next part, I am fully aware I am a part of the problem, and I do admit that. But regardless of if games should get a second chance or not, this issue will probably keep persisting because AAA companies have become too big to fail. And if these AAA companies do release flops, then they can just milk as much money from the few people that do enjoy the flopped game with macro/microtransactions. And they can also start monetizing their already successful IPs even harder than they already do. Just look at Call of Duty, for example. They have the Battle Pass, then for $30 you can buy the Black Cell Battle Pass, then for around $10 to $40 you can buy cosmetic bundles, and worst of all, these cosmetic bundles can give you competitive advantages in the PvP if you buy the right one, like the Black Noir bundle for example. And did I forget to mention the game is $70 to purchase. Now, let me know what you think about the subject of this video in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and...
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.